In this video, we're going to look at how to set a building in perspective that's below the horizon line. So I'm going to start off with the same process. I'm going to make two boxes that are below, the horizon line. I want them to be the same height. So I'm just going to zoom in and make sure we've got same height. This one's not quite. Important to get that set up right. Okay, so then I'm going to grab my selection tool, my direct selection tool, and so that white arrow, and I'm going to take my two vanishing lines and cross them through the top middle of my building again. So just like I did with the building that was on top. I'm going to make this the same color as the other one. Okay, so here I've got my two vanishing points crossing through the top of the building. Now, like in the previous video, I said anything below the horizon line we're going to bring up to the vanishing lines. Anything above the horizon line we bring below. So here this is below the horizon line. I'm going to bring that up. So I'm going to drag that up here. I'm going to do the same with the control point on the outside. Looks kind of funny right now, but trust in the process. This looks like it could use a little nudging. There we go. And then I'm going to grab those two vanishing points and put them through the bottom middle of my building. And then I'm going to grab the two outer edges and I still bring them up to the horizon line. Remember, as I'm dragging, I'm holding Shift on the keyboard so I don't get out of alignment. Right. Okay, so now I've got these walls, but if something is below the horizon line, that means I can see the roof of the building. So I'm going to take my my guides and I'm going to go through the opposite corner of the building. So this left horizon point is going to cross to the right corner of the building, and the right horizon line is going to cross over to the left corner of this building. And then basically what I need to do is put in a roof here and fill in that box. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my box here and just draw it up on top. Oh, I see what I just said. Okay. I'm just going to draw it above the building somewhere. And then I'm going to grab my direct selection tool and I'm just going to grab each one of these control points and move it into place on the building. So I'm going to bring this one to the bottom, to the middle of the building. I'll bring this one over to this corner. And I'm just going to fit it into that spot made by my control points. So that goes right there. And I'll just move these guys and check it out. So once you have made a building, you can't move it after the fact because it will no longer be in perspective. So if I were to decide I'd rather have a building over here, I can't simply move this building because it's no longer going to adhere to the perspective. So each building will have a different one. But you'll see if I move these control points around that all of those angles for this closest front are still line up with my control or with my vanishing line, and the same is true on this other side. You can see I can double check that everything is still in perspective with those. Okay, watch the next video for a floating box.